don't know if that ever happened to you, but sometimes when we are reading the Bible, we kind of feel like, oh my God, this is so boring. And that's me at least. Sometimes I'm reading it and I want to enjoy it. I want to learn more about God. But for some reasons, I think, oh my God, this is so boring. I cannot turn the page. I cannot go on. And as I said, it is a very weird feeling for me because I know that the most important question in my life should be God, and it is God. I genuinely want to know more about Him and also more about His words, more about His Son, how He is ruling this world. So it is in my genuine interest to read the Bible. But why does it feel as if it's very boring? And also, even let's say you're an atheist or you're a non-believer, even from an atheist point of view, you couldn't tell that Bible is boring because it would be a great fictional story as well. Like, imagine God has a son and He sends His son to the earth to protect His children. So it is actually a very phenomenon story. Even if you're an atheist, if you don't believe in God, you would still actually enjoy it. So why is that? Why is that we think, or let's say some of us think, that reading the Bible is sometimes very, very boring? So as usual, I started analyzing myself. I started analyzing my thoughts and whether it's really boring or there is something else. And I came to the realization that I wasn't bored. I was more anxious. But I'm not talking about the anxiety that we all usually know. Like, your heart is racing, you feel like, oh my God, I kind of feel like I want to throw up, your hands are sweating, whatever. I'm not talking about that kind of anxiety. I'm actually more talking about the whole opposite. That type of anxiety where you're very calm and actually maybe very peaceful even, but you're still anxious and think about something different in your mind while you are reading the Bible. So when you're calm, you wouldn't say that you're anxious, right? But I think we are, or let's say I am, while reading the Bible. Well, imagine this. I'm reading the Bible, I'm kind of enjoying it, but for a very tiny moment, I think about something different. And I started analyzing what things I usually think about while reading the Bible. And they were mostly my concerns. For example, oh my God, I have to pay the bills. I have to do this task or that task. Or sometimes even tiny things such as, oh my God, I have to wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. But they had something in common, which was the fact that I was always thinking about my concerns while reading the Bible. And it wasn't as if I was thinking about my concerns and my problems for like 5 minutes while holding the Bible in my hands. It was more of a, like that type of tiny moments of thoughts that just catch you and interrupts you. And as I said, you can't imagine that those moments are so tiny and seemingly so insignificant that we actually tend to ignore them, right? We're like, oh my God, okay, it's gonna go away. But that's exactly the problem. They're not going away. So I started asking myself, why am I anxious about my problems? Well, obviously, it's kind of normal to be anxious about your issues, your concerns. It's very human. But at the same time, if you're actually doing something for them, if you're taking action, then you shouldn't be worrying that much because you are trying your best. You are doing something. And other than that, you cannot control everything else. And that's actually where our faith comes in, to believe in God, to believe that He is doing something for us as well. And this whole scenario just showed me something, that I was so deeply wrong about reading the Bible. I thought the more Bible you read, the deeper your faith will get. But it's exactly the opposite. The deeper your faith is, the more you're going to enjoy reading the Bible. Because you're free while reading it. You don't think about your concerns. You don't think about your children, your husband, your mother, your problems, your work. You're just there. You're present. You're there with God and you try to understand Him. Therefore, I started praying for myself, praying for my faith to get closer to God, to believe more in Him. Because then I would have the peace of mind to actually read the Bible and enjoy it and understand it. Other than that, it would feel as if I'm just doing it because I have to do it. I was just reading a book without even understanding what it's saying. I just think that those little interruptions of thoughts will keep us away from understanding Bible. So if you're dealing with the same problem, maybe you should pray for yourself first before you open the Bible. Maybe you pray that your faith is going to be deeper, and you also pray to God that He gives you a peaceful mind, that you don't need to be worried about your problems, because first, you're taking responsibility for them, and second, you're also praying that God will help you. Then you can open your Bible and start your Bible study.